Good evening. Effective immediately, Jamaica has banned all flights from the United Kingdom for a period of 2 weeks, ending January 4, 2021. However, flights arriving over the next 24 hours and outbound flights to the United Kingdom will be allowed up to midnight tomorrow, December 22. The information was issued by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in a media release earlier today. The ministry disclosed that Jamaica is expecting 3 flights from the United Kingdom over the next 24 hours, one of which is already en route. It says passengers on those flights will be subjected to a minimum 48-hour state quarantine and PCR testing. Passengers who test negative will be fitted with armbands for monitoring and released to complete their 14-day quarantine at home, while those found to be positive will be isolated in state facilities until they have recovered, according to the Health Ministry. It says family members of persons who arrive on these flights will be able to pick up their relatives after the minimum 48-hour quarantine. Persons who arrive in Jamaica from other ports of entry by the UK will also be required to adhere to all restrictions in line with provisions under the Quarantine Act. At this time, Jamaicans are strongly advised by the Health Ministry not to travel to the United Kingdom. Those who travel overseas, including the UK, will be subject to the established quarantine or isolation procedures on their return to Jamaica. The move comes as an aggressive new COVID-19 strain that is 70% more contagious has emerged in the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, the People's National Party (PNP) is expressing concern regarding the new super-spreading strain of the COVID-19 virus, which is now affecting the United Kingdom, and the possibility of transmission to Jamaica through international air travel. In a release earlier today, the PNP pointed out that there is growing concern that the new strain of the virus is more transmissible than the first, as many countries move to restrict travel from the UK. In a statement today, the Shadow Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Maurice Guy, says he welcomed the decision of the government of Jamaica to ban flights originating in the UK and to implement new protocols for passengers transiting through other jurisdictions from the UK. However, the opposition said it would be vigilant in ensuring that everyone observes the protocols and warned that it would hold the government accountable for the entry of the new strain of the virus into Jamaica. In light of the surge in cases of the new strain of the virus, the opposition urged the government to review the UK travel database and track all persons who have entered the country within the last 5 days. It says contact tracing and testing should be done with urgency. Still on COVID-19 related news, Jamaica on Sunday recorded 65 additional COVID-19 cases, with ages ranging from 7 months to 89 years old, pushing the tally to 12,289, with 2,733 being active cases. Of the new cases, 30 are males and 35 are females. No additional death was recorded, keeping the total at 286. However, 1 new case of fatality is under investigation. In the meantime, there were 147 more recoveries, increasing the total to 9,113. Some 77 persons are in hospital, with 14 being moderately ill and 6 critically ill. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie, is calling on Jamaicans to pray for ease in the COVID-19 situation on the island going into the Christmas holidays to prevent a disastrous position in January. According to Minister McKenzie, this is especially if people in general do not start to take the pandemic seriously and abide by the various restrictions that the government has put in place to curb the spread of the virus locally.
The indoor and the outdoor poor. the homeless population, the nursing homes across the country, the elderly population is at risk. They are more vulnerable. And some of these persons have not left their homes and have gone anywhere, but they have COVID. So somebody must give them COVID. So what it means is that you're observing the social distancing, all the things that are required. We have to practice. And in this time leading up to Christmas, I am going to urge everybody to let us pray. Whether we go on our knees, or we go in a corner, or we sit in the comfort of our homes, or in churches, wherever we can. We need prayers, because if the thing don't hold during this festive season, we are in for a warm time come January. And the consequences of that is going to be severe. It's going to be great if we don't pull back.
The minister was addressing a small gathering yesterday at the upgraded Church Street facility for the homeless in the corporate area, which is created to help them have a meal and sleep as part of the municipality's efforts to help in the fight against the COVID-19 virus. Minister McKenzie said the government is not being dictatorial with the regulations, but the measures are to save lives, with the island on Sunday reporting 12,224 cases, with close to 300 deaths from the virus.
Despite whatever the mayor and the team at the KSMAC do, we can never address the challenges of COVID-19 if we refuse as a people to be compliant, and if we ignore the warnings, if we disregard the protocols that have been set. And the protocols are not being administered as a means of depriving any sector of their freedom or their constitutional rights. The government has a responsibility to protect the citizens of this country. And we are committed in preserving those rights. So nobody shouldn't feel as if government is being dictatorial in the pursuit of saving lives, which is important.
Meanwhile, Minister McKenzie says one of the vulnerable groups is the homeless population within Kingston.
The KSMAC has been reaching out and have been making a sincere commitment to deal with this vulnerable population of persons living on our streets. There are close to 2,000 or more Jamaicans right across the country who are living on the streets. The greater majority of homeless persons is in Kingston and St. Andrew. And in my own constituency downtown here, majority of the homeless in the corporate area resides in downtown Kingston. And this facility will bring the kind of relief to those who will use this facility.
For his part, Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Delroy Williams, says the partnership between the Ministry of Local Government and the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, will provide 600 meals to the homeless population in Kingston daily.
Today opened the soup kitchen, and this is an area that is a partnership between the KSAMC and the Ministry of Local Government, spearheaded by Minister Honorable Desmond McKenzie. So this partnership will see us provide cooking and preparing meals at this location. And then from this location, we will send out the meals across the municipality at various distribution points. We should include Papine, Crossroads, New Kingston, Halfway Tree, and downtown. And so we are basically providing 2 meals per day for members of the homeless population. It is a step up on our homeless program that we have had at the municipality for some time. So this should see us feeding on a daily basis far more homeless persons. We are starting out today in terms of, if you're covering all our distribution points, we are providing meals for approximately 600 persons, and we will review on a daily basis to see what the demand is and to see whether or not we can meet the demand.
In other news, swift action by the Manchester police is believed to have prevented gunmen from carrying out multiple killings in the parish yesterday. On Sunday at about 2:30 p.m., the Mandeville police received intelligence that a group of men were on their way to commit a murder or murders in the Greenvale community. Head of the CCU, Senior Superintendent Stephen Lindsay, explained what transpired.
The quick action of the police in Mandeville today prevented what could have been the injury or murder of innocent citizens. It's reported that about 2:30, the police got some information that a group of men were in the process of going to a particular location in Greenvale in Mandeville to fire shots and possibly to kill innocent citizens. Based on that information, the police went in search of the men, where they were intercepted somewhere along the Winston Jones Highway in the vicinity of Greenvale. The men engaged the police officers. During the exchange of gunfire, one of the gunmen was hit. He later died. A firearm was seized. One was arrested. The police are now conducting investigation and search to find the other persons who were part of that team that got away. So based on what transpired, we are very grateful that the police did act very quickly, because in our estimation, had it not been for the quick action of the police, we could have seen some persons being murdered in Mandeville today. Detectives from the Mandeville CIB, they are continuing the investigation to see what possible charges will be laid against the person who is currently in custody, and to see who else they can apprehend in relation to this matter. 2 police officers received injuries during the incident. The one that was hit in the chest, he was wearing his bulletproof vest, which actually we could say saved his life. Were treated at the hospital for minor injuries. So we're grateful that they were not seriously injured.
The police say one wanted man has been arrested so far in the Effortville community in Clarendon. The wanted man was picked up during an operation targeting members of the Bushman gang. Investigators say the gang is behind the upsurge of shootings in the area. The area recorded 10 shootings in just hours between last Wednesday and Thursday. 7 of the gunshot victims died. The gang activity forced the security minister to declare a 96 hours curfew in the Effortville community. The security measures started Friday evening and extends to the wider central Clarendon area. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said the security team is working to restore law and order quickly.
I've come down to get a first-hand view of the situation here in Clarendon. We've had that recent spike that really came out of a disagreement over a motorbike that ended up with 5 people dead and 2 persons injured. It's nothing more significant than that. But that's the nature of how these things play out. It starts with somebody feeling disrespected, or somebody who feels that somebody said something to them they don't like or did something to them, and it turns out into senseless killings. The team here, the team under Mr. Miller, Senior Superintendent Miller, and also the Area Commander, Assistant Commissioner Smith, responded quickly to this situation, put in additional measures like the curfew, but also responded quickly to what was happening on the ground. I'm happy to say that we have a person of interest in this matter in custody, and we are following some other leads from the CIB team down here in Clarendon for some of the other persons who are involved in this. It's a very unfortunate situation, but that speaks to the volatile nature of things and this sort of senseless response of violence when things happen.
General Anderson also pointed out that joint efforts which involve the government, the security forces and residents will return the community to a sense of normalcy.
We immediately pushed additional assets into Clarendon, and we are getting significant support from the Jamaica Defence Force also down here. And the combination of those things should bring things back on track and create a certain sense of calm and peace to Clarendon once again. It's important that not just the police, but obviously the political leadership and the local leadership become a part of whatever solutions that we come up with. So I'm confident that the team with ACP Smith, with SSP Miller and his team will bring this back under control. They've been doing very well this year, and we expect that to continue into next year. They're still tracking their homicide rate quite a bit below last year, even with this. And that just goes to show the sort of effort and work that they've been putting in. So well done to that team.
As the National Blood Transfusion Service continues to appeal with the wider public to donate blood on the weekend, they partnered with the Junior Chamber International, JCI, Kingston at the Chest Hospital to host a blood drive. Assistant blood donor organizer at the National Blood Transfusion Service, Kishana Pinnock, says this initiative helps to further the drive to save lives while encouraging people to continue to donate blood.
Well, this is actually our last voluntary blood drive for the year, but we still encourage persons to come into our collection centers to donate blood. But we have had safely 10 to 12 blood drives for the month of December, so this is an awesome way to end the season. We constantly have appeals. We have persons that support us throughout the year, but as you can imagine, we had an impact with the COVID-19 pandemic. So we were so happy to have a partnership with the JCI to come on board. So we have recovered, I think, nicely. It's pretty much we were happy for it to happen at this time because you're very right. This is the silly season, as some people call it, where we do have our hospitals that have a stretch or demand on units. So we're happy for the partnership to happen at this time. We're going to continue our partnership, hopefully into the new year, because you can donate every 3 months. So we're hoping to at least have 2 blood drives annually. It's not as scary as you think, and it's an easy process. We make sure that we follow all COVID-19 protocols, take care of not only you but our staff, but we want persons to donate blood. It's so easy and you save lives.
Ms. McIntosh also explained the benefits of donating blood.
Junior Chamber International Kingston has a long-standing relationship with the National Blood Transfusion Service. We have partnered with them on numerous occasions to stage blood collection drives, and at this time of the year when there is an increased demand for donated blood, we decided to reach out to them again and see if we could put this event together as one of our major projects for 2020. One of the benefits of donated blood is you get a free health check. And from personal experience, I had a friend whose mother was ill years ago. When I attempted to donate blood, I was told that I was ineligible because at the time I was borderline anemic. Had it not been for that pre-screening test, I would not have been aware of that condition. And since then, I have worked on it. And I can say that today I was able to successfully donate blood for the first time, along with 3 other of my colleagues on the planning committee. So we are not only trying to get people to come out and donate, we're leading by example.
Project leader for the Junior Chamber International Kingston Blood Collection Drive 2020, Shelley McIntosh, pointed out that this was one of their major projects for this year.
Junior Chamber International Kingston is a non-governmental, non-profit, voluntary organization that focuses on youth development. We give our members an opportunity to gain experience in project management, and we believe in learning by doing. And as such, we decided to have this blood collection drive as one of our major projects for 2020, given the increased need for blood. There is a constant demand for blood. On an annual basis, 60,000 pints of blood are needed, and most times we're only able to obtain 30,000 units. 1 pint of blood donated can save 3 lives. So 1 donor alone can help 3 people. And blood is always needed for emergency surgeries, for blood transfusions, for accident victims, cancer patients, expectant mothers. So there's a constant demand, and it's our aim today to be able to help the National Blood Transfusion Service to get more blood so that we can save more lives, especially now at Christmas.
Meanwhile, President-elect of the Junior Chamber International Jamaica, Jolene Holt, pointed out that this non-for-profit or non-profit organization is about taking action, with one such action helping at-risk youths.
We tend to go into some of the communities that have youths that are at risk. So we see a lot of that, and one of the things that we want to do, we want to be able to mentor some of these youths, get them off the streets, get them involved, so they can, build positive impacts, go out there in our communities and also just create changes in their everyday lives. So that is one of the main issues that we have been seeing as JCI over the years in going in our communities, at-risk youths, and we really want to alleviate that issue and really try to push forward where that is concerned. One of the main focus as president to come is really to get persons involved in the organization. This organization is about taking action, citizens taking action, which is identifying problems in communities and really just taking action to alleviate these issues.
And those are the stories making news. I am Tamar Michaela. We will now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.